Welcome back for another book review. Today we're talking about this one. So this is The Art of Numerology, a practical guide to uncover your destiny, edited by Anna Southgate. I still don't know, why is it edited by? It never actually specifies why. I don't know why. And like, it's not all of their books in this publishing house. It's just some. I don't know why. It doesn't list other authors. There's no information, there's no sources, there's nothing that you can work off of. Why is it edited by? Every other book usually is gonna say just the author's name. Like right here, I haven't dropped this off yet. These, oh, look, not edited by. Like, not edited by. The one I just also recorded, not edited by. Why is it edited by? I would love to know. So, outside of that rant, this book is what the title kind of suggests. So numerology is quite vast. This focuses mainly on the history of like kind of roughly where does numerology come from, which is everywhere. And then also it talks about your birth number, so your life path number, there's a lot of different names for it, and then your name, and that's about it. The first half kind of talks a little bit about it, and then the second half is just the different combinations of your numbers, so your birth number and your name number. Of course, no conclusion or sources, because why would we do that? So I gave it a 3, and it's like, meh. It's right smack dab in the middle, because there's like, it's surprisingly accurate, at least for my maiden name. For the life of me, I kept getting distracted trying to do my married name, so I was like, whatever. I at least got the maiden name down, and that one was accurate. But also, like, again, it's one of those where it's like, oh, but if you're going in for an interview, find out this information and like stalk the person, and it's like, that's a little weird. And also there's like this huge pressure of like, you gotta pick the right name when you're choosing your child's name because you're putting all of this pressure, and it's like, also, like, most people don't care. Like, you pick a name and it's like, cool, whatever. Half the time they're gonna pick a, like, it's names sometimes have some meaning behind it, and then sometimes it's like, eh. And like, are you really gonna, like, there's so many options of why you're picking a kid's name, and I don't know, the numerology side of it, I'm like, yeah. And it's like, oh, but then if the number's off, just add a letter, and I'm like, why? And honestly, seeing some of the names, especially out of Utah, where people take it as a challenge to pick the weirdest names and how to spell them, and take normal names and spell them the freakiest way possible. No, please don't do that. But also it was like, just add like a middle initial. And like, it also talked about like how horrible it is if you want to change your name and you gotta be like really, really for serious. And I'm like, first of all, do you know how complicated it is to change your name legally? Like, that's not an easy thing to do. And it's easier if you get married, but also it's just a pain. You have got to update everywhere, and inevitably you're gonna forget places. I went to our vet, still haven't updated my name. They were like, what name is it under? I'm like, oh, hey, it's still under my maiden name. Like, you're just gonna be surprised at where you're gonna find that you have to update your name. Let alone, again, the legal process and just the choice of changing your name. I don't know. Like, other books have not handled it of like this like scary option. And then also it kind of was talking kind of like if you choose to change your name like celebrities do, and I'm like, you realize that that's not like their normal name, right? Like, I don't think there's a lot of people who have a stage name who are called their stage name or pen names in the wild, you know? Like, in your personal life, like, I have pen names. I don't expect people who know me in my real life to come up to me and be like, hey Raven, and it's like, hey. No, that is my pen name. That is a name that I chose magically, not numerologically, but magically. I picked that because it matches what I want for my writing life. And same kind of, my fiction one was a little bit more of like, it was kind of cool and edgy and whatever, and whatever, but I'm sticking with it because like, my fiction books are just for funsies anyways, so if people buy it, cool. Like, this month I sold 2, which is wild because I did not anticipate that. But yeah, like, those names to me, like, it's not like my complete identity because they're my work names. And it is a specific field that we do that. Like, I don't think astronauts are gonna be like out here picking a stage name, and like your local grocery store employees are not gonna have like a full name that they use just at work. But certain fields you do. And like even teachers, would you never use your first name. It's Mr. or Miss whatever. I don't know how the non-binary folk do that. But one day we'll have a name of like the third option. But anyways, of, you know, the referring to a person thing, the title. Because also we could drop the fact that as women, ours is usually tied to our marital status, you know? Anyways, but like that kind of stuff of like, hey, Mr. Yellow, like just he's called that all the time, right? So why not have, I should have picked Smith. That was a better name. I just saw my yellow wall and just went with it. Anyways, but like he uses that name all the time professionally. So at some point it gets a little complicated. Because again, if you're going to mention stage names, it'd be like, meh, but only for certain people. And like also again, they don't use that in their normal life. And so that was kind of the only two major focuses that it talked about in this book, which was kind of disappointing. Because again, I've seen other books where it goes over your year number, career path. Like there's so many other equations that you can include in your life. And this one's just these two. But again, I did it for my maiden name. It was creepily accurate though. So might be good. And you know, again, I'm not like the most well-versed into numerology. I'm getting more intrigued by it, but also like looking at this book, it's kind of the same way that I'm feeling about like a little bit on the tarot, because I've been diving really deep into the tarot, but also even just astrology of like, but why not have it for whomever? Because it's going to affect everyone anyways. It's, you know, you have your backdrop a little bit, but then also like your year number is going to be drastically more impactful than your entire lifetime is the one. You know, like each year is going to be different. Where like I'm in a year 8 right now. And so it's like, next year it's going to be awesome because it's a year 9. And year 9's, which this book did not talk about how fun that is. But maybe Life Path version is different because the 9 in your year number sucks. It is your tower and it's awful. But like also going back to zodiacs, like why not see how the zodiacs influence you all year round and how you can interact with that energy? Because it's happening. Like right now, are we there? I think we're there. I think we're finally into Pisces, like just barely. So like why not acknowledge that like it's Pisces energy right now, how can that affect you, and blah blah blah. But no, we just, you were born under this sign and that is the only thing about you, which is never accurate. Because again, sometimes it can be, but a lot of times it's not. So I don't know, I think it's an interesting concept. I wish it had gone more into like how you can utilize the numbers in more than just these two ways. And again, also the like creepily like energy about how important your name is, and you've got to be really sure you want to change your name, which is like, it's not an easy choice, bro. And then also, if you have a nickname, then you're supposed to kind of use that one too. It's just, I don't know, there's a lot of emphasis on like, this is so important, and it's like, meh. Like, it's probably the equivalent of like, how deep do you want to go into your astrology chart? And then when you cross compare it to other ones, how much overlaps? Because some things continue across the board. I found for me, there's some that it's like no matter the system, it shows up. And so it's like, cool, there's a theme. And then some of them it's like, this is off the wall, where did this come from? And that's the one that you start to question a little bit. So if you are new to numerology, I think this might be helpful, but again, you're going to want to research a little bit more. This is just really focusing on your first number, your birth name thing, your, I don't know, it's like your life path, but then it's also just, it's just your birthday. Your birthday, that number, and then your name. Your legal name, I guess, kind of. Which, also, do they not know that, like, legally, nobody, like, Cher, I don't think, is, like, legally called Cher. I don't think she files taxes under Cher. Like, you know, just, you realize, anyways, I am caught up on that. So I would love to know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. As always, a huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me and get access to a bunch of stuff, it's patreon.com/nightwillowcrafts. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every single day, even when I'm breaking out like I'm 15 all over again, because that's what happens when you got stress. So anyways, until next time, thank you for coming along, and blessed be.